Hello, my name's Emma Fawcett and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Newton Abbey, Belfast, Northern Ireland. Thank you so much for joining me today in Emma's Crafty Space. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute little box. This box was actually created by a girl called Linda Parker a good few years ago, and I actually came across a few old samples that I had made up for classes, and this was one of them. So I thought I would revisit it, and Linda's design is brilliant in that the box is in a very good size for gifting someone something, but it also has this little kind of prism feature like that, or if you press it down it locks it closed. So it's a very genius design by Linda Parker. She still has a YouTube channel and her designs are amazing, so you should check her out. So I'm going to be using today the Hydrangea Hill DSP from the Hydrangea Haven suite. It is absolutely beautiful. The colours are just stunning, and it gives these nice watercolour kind of effects with the stamped images and the DSPs. So we'll make a wee start on that. So you are going to need a piece of cardstock and a piece of DSP. So your cardstock measures 11 inches by 7 7/8, and your DSP measures 10.5 by 4 inches. So we're going to do some scoring. So you will need a trimmer or a scoring board. I prefer a scoring board when I'm doing larger projects like this. And your first score line is going to be on the long side, and it's going to be at 2 5/8 of an inch, and we're going to be using the smaller end of the scoring tool because we're scoring card. 5 1/4, 7 7/8, and 10.5. I'll just repeat those again. You've got 2 5/8, 5 1/4, 7 7/8, and 10.5. You're going to turn it clockwise, and then you're going to score at 2 5/8 and 5 1/4. Okay, so we'll set that to the side and we'll score our lid closure as well. So you can choose whatever side of the paper you want. I'm doing this one just to make it different from the other one, and this is Seaside Spray that I've chosen to pick from the enclosures. So again, your size is 10.5 inches by 4 inches, and you're going to score this side. It's going to be scored at 2 5/8. Okay, and then on your long side you're scoring at 2.5, 5 inches, 7.5, and 10 inches. Now we need to then switch this up in that the larger squares are on the bottom and then your shorter ones are on the top. Okay, I'm just going to move that in like that. Okay, and we are going to score at, not that you're going to be scoring, you're just going to be making a little score notch at this. Okay, so tuck that in or pull it up like that. It's just so that you can get that in tight to there. So you're going to make a little notch at 1 1/4, 3 3/4, 6 1/4, and 8 3/4. So I'll go over this again. So you've just moved your little tab up out of the way, and we've made a little notch at 1 1/4, 3 3/4, 6 1/4, and then 8 3/4. Okay, so now we can set that to the side. That is all our scoring done for now. We might need to just go back in with a little ruler later on, but we'll make up the box to begin with. So if you can imagine that these tabs along the top are the top of your box, this is the middle, your sides, and then this is your base. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to cut up each line to the score line like that. So this is the base of our box. Then once we get to this score line, I'm just going to turn the paper or the card and just do a little wedge like that. Okay, and then the same with this one, a little wedge here. We'll hold that straight so you can see it. Okay, so this is along the top of our box now. So I am going to cut each one of these top panels at a wedge. Okay, And the reason for this will come apparent whenever we are folding these all down. You'll know what's happening. So just wedge them all, and your last one at this edge. Okay. I'm setting this back down just so you can see the shape of it. So you can see this is the top and this is the base, and then this little tab is obviously going to be the closure. Sorry, one other measurement that I forgot to give you was that you will need 4 squares of DSP, and they are going to be 2 3/8 square. And this is just for to do your panels. So you just need to be careful if your paper is directional, like this one. You need to make sure that it's the right way up. So just keep in your head, this is the top. And I'm going to put this down. Okay, so with it being square, it should fit in there perfect, and you've still got that nice border around the outside of it. I like to stick all my sides down first so that I know that they're all in line with each other, top and bottom. Okay, so I find it easier to decorate the box when it's lying flat, but you can completely construct it if you're not confident, and then stick your DSP on last, especially if it's your first time doing it, or just have a dummy run with it first so you're not wasting your DSP. Okay, so now we are going to burnish all our score lines with a bone folder. This is your little closure here, in case you're wondering why there's a random tab on the side of it. Okay, so we're going to stick all these down. You might need to take a little nip off that if you're finding that you can't get that bottom base to come up, but if it's okay, then just let it be. So now we are going to put glue to this. Now you could use double-sided tape for it, but I like glue so that I can adjust it if I need to. Okay, give that a good press. So it closes over that last tab. So the seam of the box is here, so that is going to be the back of the box. So we're going to put our sides down first. Okay, so just match them up. Then I want this to be the last flap that goes down because it's the front. Everything's tucked away and nice and tidy. Is your box all finished? Okay, so we can put that away and let that sit for a minute or two. And now we are going to bring back our lid closure, and you're going to need your scoring tool for this and your ruler. So your large square is in the bottom, and then your smaller rectangles are along the top with your little notches. So you're going to score from this notch to your first score line, and you're going to do that all the way across. I always do it with the thin end of my scoring tool just because I'm scoring it on a hard surface and I want to get a good definite score. Okay, and I'm just doing all the ones that are leaning to the right first. And then sometimes the DSP is quite hard to see the score lines, so you're best if you can see that notch just to place your scoring tool there, and then you've got your starting point. And then your last one to there. Okay. So again, we are going to burnish everything. So this is quite hard, but once you do it once or twice, then you will understand it. So you can see here, well, I don't know if you can see if the camera's picking this up, but there's a score line diagonal there and diagonal here. So you need to push that down because you want this triangle to be prominent. So you want to push this one down too, like that. Marry it up to the next triangle. Just support it in that corner, like that. So you can see there where the triangle is prominent. Okay, so again, push that down, push that in, and again, marry it up to the edge of the next triangle. Okay, and just take your time with this and be patient with it because you're just trying to manipulate the paper. So again, push that down into there. And you can see there's your next triangle coming on its own. And then your last one here. Now this one can be a wee bit awkward because it's got the one with the tab where you're going to be attaching it to this side. So we are just going to get snips. Snip this little tab off here. And same here. Bit of glue down that tab then and bring the two edges together. Got too much glue and it just will be a sticky wet mess, especially with it being DSP. I'm just taking my spreader and getting the glue away from those edges. Okay, so let those meet and stick together. Okay, and that edge as well has to go in, so it's like that. Okay, so once you've got all your folds right, it really should just kind of go in there itself. So this is my join. So I'm looking for my join here. So your seam here is going to match this seam. Now, this slides down into that perfectly. So you can see that it really is a perfect fit. So you're wanting to put a wee bit of tape along here, and that's just so that that sleeve stays down inside the box. So I'm just going to put one here. I'm going to put one on each side because I don't think we really need it on all four sides. Okay. And we'll take one off one side. Or you can take it off both sides actually, because you can manipulate the card in on itself when you're sliding it down into that. So just kind of push those two in. Get it down in as far as it'll go. And then you can just put your fingers down in there and make sure that the tape is getting stuck to the card box on the outside. And that is the actual structure of your box. So you can see there, because the card's still very new and hasn't really been used an awful lot, it's just pinging back open. But if you just press that down, that locks it shut. So very cute. So on my original I have the ribbon that coordinates with this suite, so I'm going to do the same thing. Now I really do struggle with bow tying, so for this one I'm just going to find the back of my box here. So this is the back. I am going to put a little strip of tape here, nothing too big, because at the end of the day you don't want it to be too obvious that your ribbon's sticking to tape. But for this one, I am not going to struggle on camera. I'm just going to let the ribbon meet itself with a little bit of an overhang, and I'm going to cheat. And I'm just going to stick the ribbon to the box. And then I'm going to just put the bow onto it with a glue dot. There's no point in getting stressed out about bows and ribbon. Whenever there's ways around it to do it a different way to make it easier on us. So I'm just going to bring that up, make sure it looks straight, stick that tape there, and hopefully it will hold this ribbon here. So this is a little hack for you if ribbon is something that really stresses you out, because at the end of the day you can just hide your join with a ribbon or with a bow that you've already tied at a time whenever you've not been as stressed out, and you can have the time to sit and play about with it and get it the way you need it to be. and in my case off camera. Oh, there's a little bit of ribbon just sitting up there, so I'm going to trim that because there's enough of the double-sided tape to hold it in place. And then a little glue dot just to fix that, and you wouldn't even know that there was a join in underneath that. So very cute project. Thank you, Linda Parker, for the inspiration. And I'll just open it out again so you can see actually how substantial it is in there. So hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. I will put all the products that I've used in the description below, and there's a link there to my online store if you need any of the supplies. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Bye bye.